Good evening. This is the NABWIC Investment Club monthly meeting. It is June the 4th, 2026. It is now 5:32 p.m. We will begin our meeting. I believe that we should have a quorum, and so we're going to go ahead and have our meeting. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we understand that while we are an investment club, this is our monthly meeting, as I've already mentioned, but I need to go ahead and give a disclaimer. Our NABWIC Investment Club is an educational group. We're going to be discussing stock. We're going to be discussing how you review stock, how you view stock, how to invest in stock, all right? But as we discuss, this is for education purposes only. We're not recommending that you purchase stock for your personal portfolio. This is for our understanding and for us to move our group forward. So just make sure that if, as you hear us review stock this evening, you write the stock down and you do your own review, in-depth review before you purchase. All right, that is our disclaimer. The next thing is this. We are now going to, before we start the meeting, we're going to have two things. One is invest in better investing principles. One of the things in better investing principles we've already talked about, and that is that we're an education group. But for better investing, we buy good growth stock. We do analysis. We buy and we hold as long as it is a good growth stock, and we invest regularly. So what you will do, or what we all do, we put this in our budget. We invest regularly and we're not day traders. So we are in for the long haul. Okay, now that we've gotten those two things out of the way, I'd like to bless this meeting. We're calling it order. We'd like to bless this meeting. Is there anyone in the group that would like to go ahead and open this meeting up in prayer?
Hi, Sharon, it's Ann McNeil. I can go ahead and pray.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, if we can all bow our heads and just take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose very slowly. And now if we can exhale through the mouth very slowly. Oh, Heavenly Father, Lord, we just thank you for the breath, Lord, the breath of life. Such a little thing, but it's so vitally important. Lord, we thank you for your word, your wisdom, and your way. Every breath we take reminds us to glorify you. It is in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we ask and pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. How awesome was that? All right, so now let's do the roll call. We're going to take the roll call of all that are members and for guests. Okay, I'm going to say Sharon Jackson is in attendance. Who is next?
Aretha Dennis is in attendance.
Awesome.
Ann McNeil.
Carolyn Modest.
Deidre Williams.
Awesome. Okay.
Zelda Kia. Sorry.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so we do not see Mia. I thought Mia was going to at least be able to be on. And we do not have Valencia. Okay, very good. All right. Doretha, do we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So let's go into the next part of our agenda, and that's report. Now, Doretha sent out the secretary's minutes about a week or so ago. Do we have any I'm assuming everyone has read them. Do we have any corrections for the minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'm assuming that we are all have read the minutes, that we agree with that we are agreeing with what was happened for the recording of last month's meeting. So we are going to accept the minutes and they will be filed.
No corrections. One last ask. All right. We're going to accept the minutes as has been presented, has been sent to us, and we will file them. The next thing on the agenda is the
Sharon?
treasurer's.
I hate to interrupt you, but we need to keep an eye on our waiting room. Now, there are some individuals there that I don't recognize, and Ziamira, Ann, do you recognize her? And then we
Yes.
let somebody in already who is a guest. Can you please give us your full name, change your name so that we get your full name? We want to always welcome our guests by their names, please. And I don't know.
Ziamara is a member. Ziamara is a member, a NABWIC member.
Oh, thank you so much. So Ann, help me watch the waiting room, please.
Oh, you have to make me
Thank
a co-host. I can't see it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Sharon, thank you.
Okay, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Did someone else just come in?
Okay, I
Okay.
just want to wait before you move on. Ziamara, the board meeting is on the Uber line. The board meeting is on the is on the dial pad. Ziamara, thank you.
Thank you for that, Ann.
And then we have a guest by the name of Nanik. If you want to introduce yourself, Nanik. Nanik, can you come off a camera and introduce yourself, please? This is the NABWIC, National Association for Black Women in Construction Investment Club meeting. And if you're not here for this particular meeting, you might be here for another meeting. So we need you to come off mute and introduce yourself, or else we're going to have to put you back in the waiting room. And Retha, if you can check the chat just to make sure you're on speaker view. You may have to move Nanik back to the waiting room because.
Okay, I will.
Okay, Sharon, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. All right. So treasurer's report. Carolyn?
Yes, I will go ahead and share the report, although I send it, but let me share it so everybody
you for
can
that.
see. Sorry, where is my report?
Okay, if I may, Sharon, while she's looking for the report, we want to welcome Ms. Khalees from Dallas, Texas, from the Wanda Group. Welcome to the National Association for Black Women in Construction Investment Club meeting. Do you want to introduce yourself while we're waiting for our treasurer's report? Mamie Celeste, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Come on camera. Mamie, would you like to come on camera or at least come off mute? My mic and camera is not working. Okay. All right. Well, we know who you are. You are in Texas and a part of this organization. So welcome. Thank you.
Okay, is everybody seeing the report on the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. And this is the NABWIC Investment Club Treasurer's Report as of May 31st, 2026. Total membership dues collected for the year, $725. Assessment collected to date, $245.52. And we have the expenses for the year, $149.99. We have the advanced payment of $250, giving us an ending balance of the TD Bank cash will be $1,745.05. Cash available as of May 31st, 2026. We have the TD Bank, $1,745.05, and Child Squad, $1,388.52, giving us a total of $3,133.97. And our portfolio as of May 31st is $15,056.34. And I will add there were payments came in after the month, so that will be reflected on next month's reporting. And any questions? If no questions, that's the end of the treasurer's report. Thank you.
Awesome. So there were no questions on the treasurer's report. So, there are no corrections, and are there any discussions regarding the treasurer's report? All right. So, we are going to receive that report. Thank you so much for all your good work, Carolyn. We know you do a lot of work, so we appreciate everything that you've done. We are receiving that report and it will be filed. All right. Now, I'm going to ask the question. Does Doretha have this report that she would be able to file it? She has this report.
Yes.
I guess the question is, does she have last month's report?
No, I will send it to you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. You know that, right? All right. So the next thing on the agenda, I believe, is the portfolio manager's report.
Absolutely, and that would be me. I'm going to share my screen so that we can take a look at what we call our My iClub platform. In this platform, all of the members has access to it, and there are several reports that we look at. Our treasurer has already given us information from the unified report. I'm going to give you a quick overview of how that looks. And there was something that I discovered today that I didn't realize, that back in 2025, I believe, or whenever it was, 2021, Facebook and Meta, formerly known as Facebook, changed its name. However, I looked it up and the stock is one of the same. However, in our My iClub, they still have them separated. So I don't know if the separation will remain or if they are going to join the two of them. However, so instead of us showing 13 stocks, it shows 14 stocks. But we do know that Facebook and Meta are the same. There is also, that's on the valuation statement. I believe it's also on the unified report written that same way. Okay, we also have a report called the company size, and this is a quick view of how it looks. We have two small companies. Yes,
Excuse
ma'am.
me. I see that while you were speaking about Meta, Carolyn raised her hand.
Okay, didn't see it. Carolyn, please do.
Okay. So since in May, we purchased one stock in, so the previous name was Facebook, right? So, but because they changed the name to Facebook, the portfolio name on the Charles Crop never changed to Meta. So now when I buy it, it will not allow me to make any changes to the name. So I had to do it separate and show the one stock of Meta. And so I tried to put it as Facebook. It said that name does not exist. So that's the only how I could have added to the portfolio. So you can have, when I reconcile, it will balance.
Okay,
All right,
awesome.
thanks.
Thank you for that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now do we have a total of 3 or we have a total of 2 stocks?
So we have 2 Facebook and 1 Meta,
Meta.
all the
Okay.
same company. So we have 3
Okay.
shares.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Let's move to our next report, a quick look at sector and industry. There are about 11 sectors, ranging from financial to health, industry, and that is a quick look of that. Each stock is listed under its sector. EPS growth, quick look at that. I don't usually look at the earnings per share, but this is a quick look. It does show a loss in a couple of them. We'll talk about that later on in our meeting. Let me see. Sharon likes to look at, let's take a quick look at gain and loss. This is the one that always troubles me, because I have Qualis, and it always shows a negative. However, we had a big discussion on in our last meeting about it's still making gains financially, revenue off the charts. But this loss just shows because I guess we're not gaining as much as we would if the economy was at its best. So we're going to hold on to Qualis, and I'll give a report later on in our meeting about Qualis. Okay. Um, Sharon likes to look at the club benchmarks. Let's take a quick look at, is it the benchmarks, Sharon, that we look at? Yes. The club um, compared to the S&P 500 a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and lifetime to date. S&P 14.1% and we 0.8%. That's from January to this particular percentage is from January to June.
I think one of the things that's really important for us to
Mm-hmm.
explain to some of the people that are newly coming in and wondering about that information, we started going through our portfolio and making significant cuts. Things that weren't making money, things that were, severely. So we started re-strategizing and we're back in the rebuilding. That's one of the things that you'll notice that we have done in probably the last 6 months is rebuild. We have cut some of the things that have been significant long-term losers, and we are buying more of what are good growth stocks. So I just wanted to add that point. Thank you, Doretha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Sharon, is there any graph you want to see
I
as we
think it's
present?
No, are you going to the portfolio, the heat map?
I am. I'm going to go right now to our heat map. Now, in our heat map, you can see it's color coded. Most of the BI community is in here. The stocks that they buy, along with the stocks that we buy. And it ranges from green to yellow to red. And the greener the box, the more favorable it is for potential. And the lighter the color, the lighter red is, less potential. The larger the box, the more individuals are buying that particular stock or have an interest in that particular stock. And the smaller the box, not so much. Um, yes, and it says this is our recent club valuation from our recent club valuation as of May 31st, 2026.
One of the things this really shows very well in here
Mm-hmm.
is that the size of the box also references the positions that it holds in our portfolio. So you
Mm-hmm.
see MRP at the bottom, really tiny, and you looked at the one of the some of the information that Doretha has only shown. Well, it only represents like 2% of our portfolio. So
Mm-hmm.
it is making a little bit of money, and it also is a very small part of our portfolio. And just like
Yes.
Doretha shows, Amazon,
Mm-hmm. Yes, a big part of our portfolio. It makes
and
money for us. So we're definitely keeping Amazon in our portfolio.
yes, the
Okay,
other
Sharon,
thing
is there
is,
another one that we'd like to see, you like to see at this
yeah,
time?
cash. We have too much cash. Look how big that box is. So we got a
Okay.
box. We have too much cash on it. I'm not saying that we're a cash cow, but that box should never be that big. All right. That's the only other thing. But I
Yes,
think
yes,
it
yes.
is good that so many of our shares, even though it may look gray, uh,
Mm-hmm.
they all are making money. WHD is still making money. Meta is making money. Uh, um, Lennar is just a function of the economy, but it made our portfolio a lot of money when we first purchased it. So I just wanted to say I think we look good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's all. I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Yeah.
move
No,
on.
Sharon, you know that we did this is a two-man task, and the things that I don't cover, you always can jump in and help out. That's it for our portfolio managers report, unless we have our members have some questions or our guests have some questions. Okay, Sharon, back to
Okay.
you.
Hearing none, thank you so much. We're going to receive that good report. Thank you so much, Doretha, and it's going to be filed. Now, the next thing on our agenda, just like Doretha said, is the review of our current portfolio. And Doretha, you're up first with Qualis.
Yes, that's the one I spoke about. So Qualys is um, a cloud security and compliance solution provider. Now, this is going to be quick and dirty, as Sharon says. Just an overview of this particular stock. Today's price is $112.66. And I am so glad we didn't sell it last month, because last month it was $86. This month it is $112. So I am so glad we did not. It's a small company. Morningstar gives it a B. Value Line gives it a B plus plus. It's part of the software infrastructure industry. It's in the technology sector. I am going to recommend that we hold on to this stock as we continue to move. We have 5 shares. I recommend that we hold on to it. And there are a couple of key financial factors that's a part of my recommendation. First of all, the price itself has moved $25 from last month to this month. It's in the range of 110. So today it was up and down from 110 to 114, back and forth. The first quarter of 2026, earnings per share, $1.95. From last year, this time, $1.84. It has revenues, $176 million. That's up 9.8% from this time last year. They are in a transitional stage. They have several different, with AI in play. There are a lot of companies taking on AI to help enhance their company, and Qualys is one of them. This enhancement has helped them to take on larger accounts. They have taken on a lot of the federal government accounts, and the public sector agencies have come on board. So again, my recommendation of these that we hold on to these 5 shares. That's
What's
it
the
for me.
target? What's the target estimate?
The target estimate,
Yeah.
um, I don't have that, Sharon. I don't have that target estimate. I don't have that. I don't have that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Just
I'll do
wanted
some
to-
research. I'll do some
Thank you.
research and get back with you.
Just trying to see if, we're holding on to it. It made a great comeback in a distressing economic time.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, should we have purchased another share? That's all.
Oh, that sounds good.
But we
Um,
don't know. Okay. All right, then. Let's
yes.
see. Back to the agenda. All right. So, Ann McNeil it's already told us that she's in the midst of an event. So her two were Cactus and Amazon. We've already gushed all over Amazon. We have 10 shares of Amazon. It occupies a major portion of our portfolio. We have 10 shares. It also is a major earner for us. Cactus is kind of questionable. I don't remember Cactus as being one of our big green, but we will discuss Cactus maybe next month. Now, Carolyn, are you in a position that you can talk about CBRE and Walt Disney?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. For CBRE Group, that is, it's said that that's the largest commercial real estate service and investment um, firm. And basically what it's showing is that from the investment perspective, they said that is very attractive because of the diversified revenue stream that they have now. Because they're a real estate broker service, they generate revenue from building operations, workplace solutions, project management. So these are the things that a part of the company. We have 5 shares. A matter of fact, when we purchase it at $43.16. Today it closed at 101.30. And it also mentioned that the performance for the first quarter in 2026 is excellent. The revenue increased by 19% or 19%. That means it's a $10.5 billion, while the EPS grew 18%. So that is equivalent to 1.61. And we have to look to see. What I have to find out is the range. The value line gives you what the target range. So I have to look into that to see if it's in the buy. In my search, there was just Morningstar characterized it as a share with a fair value because even though now it's 130, they said still it is a fair value. So we have to do to see if we need to add more to it, because again, we only have 5. The next stock I looked at is Disney World. And as we know that the Walt Disney, we have some ups and downs, but basically what it's saying that it have we have 10 stocks with Disney. And Disney operation is 3 primary business segments. We have the entertainment, that is Disney Studio, Disney, the Hula TV network. Then we have the sports like ESPN, and then the experience is with the theme park, resort, cruises, and consumer products. So with that collection of different segment, sometimes when we think Disney is going down, it's have the potential to increase in value. It mentioned, the streaming, especially the streaming, has become very profitable, and also mentioned that with the new CEO Josh or Amaro, I think he is looking into more revenue stream that we might see. So it's not to say that to hold, and it might be a potential to buy more stocks because of the rate that they are going. It might be slow, however, we know that is a very good stock. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So,
Oh, one thing I should add in my reading, they said for Disney, it said that for long-term investment is a buy. For short-term, for current holders is a hold, and for short-term traders is a hold. So if you want to do like a long-term, then it's in a buy range right now.
this is Disney.
Yes.
I think I've told you all this. When I fly from St. Louis to Florida, I have to go through Orlando sometimes. The plane is packed from Grammy to grandchild. Packed. So, Disney is a destination. Absolutely. So I believe in holding it. Just me. I'm just saying. Alrighty then. Thank you so much. That was a good report. I appreciate you very much. Now, Mia is also at an event, and I do not believe that she is in a position to speak either. And she had the next two. She had Meta slash Facebook and Electronic Arts. Meta, I'm telling you, has been a moneymaker for us. I didn't do an analysis. I'm just saying that it has made good money for us. And there was a pullback. It's still in a pullback position, but a lot of stock are in pullback position right now. I didn't look at Electronic Arts. Nicole is not with us either this evening. She had Melrose and Gildane Activewear. We purchased an additional 5 shares of Milrose last month. Milrose is not something that we usually do. Remember, it is an ETF. And usually we don't do ETFs except it was small. We already had shares. We received shares from Lennar last year. And all roads left moved to the fact that Milrose, MRP, was a good stock. Apparently, and I didn't do during my readings today, there was a major shift in Melrose. Motley Fool made a recommendation saying that Melrose was a something that was busting out because they provided so many services to large developers. The issue for them was Lennar. Lennar, we already said we have a lot of Lennar. Lennar is a big moneymaker for us, but they have a very strong connection to Lennar. But what they also said, and I'm sorry that now that I don't see Nicole here, I'm sorry that I didn't print it out. But there is another large company that bought like hundreds of thousands of share in Melrose, which really boosted their bottom line. And they're saying Milrose, unlike a lot of these ETFs, there are not very many that do what they do. They said they're getting ready to bust out. So I'm just saying that it did make it inch forward. It made me a little nervous for the first couple of weeks that we bought it, but Milrose started to go into the green this week. So anyway, I just wanted to add that. I don't have anything to say about Gildan, and I'm really sorry that Valencia is not here because I'd love to hear what she had to say about Zoltis. So, I believe, oh, and she's not here for Lennar. So let's jump to me. And I have Charles Schwab and Zoom. So for Charles Schwab made us a lot of money also. Love Charles Schwab. So this is the deal. Charles Schwab closed at today or was at $92.15. They have a financial strength of an A. Morningstar says that their fair value as of today is actually $114. So there is upside, still a significant upside in Charles Schwab. They value line says that their 18-month
target price is 115, but their 5-year target price is anywhere between 125 and $190. Their They have increased their dividend. They're saying that they believe that they'll increase their dividend again. Very, very good. But the other thing that they said about Charles Schwab, and this was coming from Motley Fool. Motley Fool said that there are 3 companies that have done a breakout in the investment. It's Charles Schwab, Interactive Brokers, and Robinhood. Robinhood tends to get young kids because it's more, what is the word, showy, more game-like, you know? And Interactive Brokers is more for the professional investor. I'm in both. I'm in both, but more like the professional investor. But the deal is they put together a full complement of services. And they said that's the reason why these 3 have broken out. And that for the long-term investor, Charles Schwab is going to be good. They said Interactive Brokers is also going to be the breakout king. But for the average person, Charles Schwab is a goodie. All right. Now, we already have 15 shares of Charles Schwab. It is large. So, and it occupies a very large portion of our portfolio. If it did not, I would recommend buying more because it definitely is in the buy range. But it's large. We already own 15 shares. And so we're heavy on Schwab. I can't make a recommendation on buying more. Zoom video. I did not even bother doing a major review of Zoom. We have 6 shares of Zoom. It's I believe it closed at $108.64. Looking at the fair value from Morningstar, it's at $105. So right now, they're saying it is overvalued. Not their target price in 18 months is at 110. Now 5 years, they're saying it's anywhere between 195 and 140. There is no dividend. I'm trying to see if I can get back to it. I think the biggest thing is this. Yes, they are making it. It does say in, if I can get back to it, just please give me a little bit of deference here. Let me see if I can get back to it. What I wanted to read to you was what, oh, maybe I'm not going to find it fast enough. What they were saying is that in the short run, Zoom has done several deals that will take it to the next level and that assist it in making money. Okay. It is doing that. The problem is they're saying in the long run, Zoom may not be able to hold out with the long guys, with the big guys. So that's the only thing that I have to say. I would not make a recommendation to get rid of Zoom. If we were one of those people that was only for making money, I would say we could sell it and buy something that we could make more money. I can't make that kind of recommendation. Zoom is a good company. For now, it is making money. It hits all of the boxes that BI says in terms of good growth company. It's just one of those things we'll keep monitoring and to see how it continues to stack up. against other companies that are trying to invade its space. Okay, so that completes the review of our portfolio. Were there any questions from on point questions from any of our visitors?
I had a question about the stock that Carolyn shared before Disney. I missed that one, what the name was.
Oh,
BBRE.
yes.
DBRE.
C.
C.
Oh, CBRE. Oh, real estate.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. And then I have another question. Why is your strategy to not invest in ETFs typically?
It's because that is it's a BI strategy. It's one of the guidances from BI that we generally do not invest in ETAs. It's a BI thing.
Okay, thanks.
But I think I told you, we got it we got it from a transaction with Lennar. They gave us 5 shares last year, and it
Cool.
zoomed. The value really increased. So we held it and we added to it. But in general, our reason why we don't is because it's not a BI thing, better investing.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
Thank you for the question. Alrighty then. So that completes that part of the agenda. Now, you know what? The watch list. I'm going to tell you the truth. Do I have anything on this watch list?
I don't think so, Sharon, but I do. I have Excel service. And next month, I want to present an SSG on it because it has an excellent front page, that up straight and parallel
Yes.
graph that we look at. And it has very good reviews. So next month, I'm going to do an SSG and probably recommend that we buy a few shares. So
Awesome.
yes. Mhm.
Awesome. Now,
So
one
we
of the
can,
things
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to apologize.
No.
You all, I work for the Veterans Administration, and ever since I've worked for that organization, I've been a major person to break in. So it's not like I'm trying to be rude. I just picked up a bad habit. So I'm excited about your presentation. I'm really sorry that that Nicole is not here to give us a thought about Fortinet. It's possible that we're losing money by not buying Fortinet. Um, so anyway, Carolyn, did you have anything to say about Federal Signal Corp?
No, I don't. And what I did, if you go into our My iClub, I did some cleanup and some updates. So in My iClub, you will see everyone who stock the watch, their names on the list for the stock that they're supposed to be looking at. So if they go in there, it will then I remove my stock on the watch because at the time when we looked at it, the price and then the price continued increasing. So I'm not sure if we wanted to buy it now at a higher price when we had it at $99. Now it's just keep on moving and keep on growing. So I'm
Okay.
not sure what we wanted to do. So I just did some cleanup and clean up everything in the My iClub.
Okay, thank you. One of the things, I'm going to follow up with that. One of the things that they were very strong at the Better Investing Conference is that your uh, watch list should not be long. It should be a watch list for something that you are watching because it is overvalued. It's a good growth company. It is overvalued. You're waiting for it to come down so that it is valued correctly. Or you maybe not have the money, but you put it on the watch list because you want to pull the trigger. as soon as possible. Maybe it is something that you are going to put a limit order on and that you're just waiting. But they said you really shouldn't have more than 3 stock on your watch list. Things that you are going to buy. It shouldn't be sitting up there like we have done. We didn't know any better. But honestly, should not be sitting on a watch list for 6 months, a year. I'm just saying. So we will be monitoring that, ladies. Alrighty then. You know
Agree.
what? That concludes our presentations of our current holdings and what we're watching. What we're going to bring up next, that next part of our agenda, is our SSG of the day. We have Zelda, a new member coming on, who has fulfilled all of the requirements for being a member. I saw Zelda, I think I told you, at the conference. They called her name. I was at the other side of the room, right? And as soon as they closed down, I zipped across the room and said, Zelda, Sharon, I've never met you. Poor thing. She didn't know who I was, this woman running up on her. But anyway, she was very, very nice to me. And this is the last part of Zelda's requirements for being a member. So clicks for Zelda. So Zelda, a lot of words, and we're going to turn it over to you, and we're looking for a great SSG.
Okay, so the company I chose is called Gillette Satellite. Well, I'll just bring it up. So I did a small presentation. I'll try not to be too long. Should I do like 5 minutes just intro and then I'll go to the SSG?
Sounds fine.
Okay, could I share my screen? Let's see.
Yes, you should have capabilities. Try and see. If you don't, I need
Okay.
to.
Now I gotta bring it up. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, so this one, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was supposed to be something that you all might consider. I think it's a little on the speculative side, but I wanted to present a smaller cap. So let me see. I'm gonna try to do this in presentation mode. Okay, but actually, sorry, I messed up. Let me bring it back to the first slide. Okay, so it's called Gillette Satellite Networks. This is an Israeli company too. So I utilized, they have the Form 20F, which is similar to the 10K, the yearly report. I went back 3 years. I used the value line from March 2026 and the Morningstar report from June of 2026. So the question about buy, hold, or too speculative. Its sector is actually satellite, which I didn't know that was a sector. Market cap is 1.2 billion, so still considered in a small cap. So this is not a satellite operator, but it designs, manufactures, and sells equipment. So this is more of the picks and shovels. Let me do one thing. I'm sorry. I forgot to minimize this so I can see the whole screen. Okay. So it's the picks and shovels. This idea of, when people went out to pan for gold, it wasn't the people that actually found the gold that became rich, but the people that owned the inns and the shovels and the picks and all the things that people needed to pan for gold. So these are the areas that they're involved in. Is defense. So yes, a big defense company, and then airplanes, in-flight connectivity, and then obviously satellite networks. Oh, I see a hand.
Yes, it's Doretha. I can only see half of your presentation, one side of it. Like I said, part of it is green and part is black. The black portion of it, I can't hardly see.
Is
And it
everybody
says-
like that? Is it like that for everyone?
Okay,
Um,
share again. Let's see.
Oh. Okay, well, let me see. Maybe if I do it like this, you can see the whole screen here, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'll just do this. It's a little small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh, that's too big.
Too big.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I was hoping I could do the full screen, but like, yeah, sometimes it's a
That's
little.
good. Mhm.
Okay, I'll just go with this. So, yeah, so these are their segments. So 62% is commercial, 22% defense, and then they have a relationship with Peru. So let me see now. Okay. So the revenue has gone up, but the earnings. So the earnings really aren't keeping pace with the revenue. So they said, revenue nearly doubled in 2 years, but not the income actually declined. So that's something to keep in the back of the mind. And this is more of their defense strategy here. Balance sheet does show 185 million from December of 2025. Long-term debt is 2 million. So they say they have enough cash to cover their debt. And so it says nearly debt-free, but operating cash flow dipped. I mean, it seems like they're doing a lot of purchases, but that's something to monitor. And nearly half of the revenue came from 3 customers. So that's obviously something to kind of monitor too. 24% European, 20% US, and this Peru is 14%. Let's see, where am I? Okay, here. Okay. So Morningstar gives it 2 stars. It says they are overvalued. So they're estimating at a 12.86. Right. At the time of this, it was 16.16. I don't know. Didn't see the most recent price. I can look at it real quick. I think it's been hovering around that 15 or 16 mark. So let's see. I'll just look it up real quick. Oops. Of course, it said hilt, not gilt. Okay, so currently gilt 1597. Yeah. So this is currently approaching the 1867, which I thought it was cheap, but I guess that's not cheap. And then their buy price actually is at 8.85. Value line had some positive, strong revenue growth, but there's a lot of this NMF in the value line, no meaningful data or something like that, whatever that means. So there was still a lot of ifs and pretty high PE, 52 times earnings. So it is elevated, probably given all of the, SpaceX IPO and all that's what's happening. So here's some of the bulls thing, defense spending is they consider that a tailwind. LEO, Starlink, Cooper, ecosystems. So they're very, very broad in terms of where they are investing, minimal debt. But then the Bears case, they say Morningstar says there's no economic moat. So there's no really good differentiator. There is quite a lot of competition in this space, and the earnings have lagged the revenue. So that was kind of a negative. Also, the stock already doubled. So they're just saying that a lot of the growth there's a lot of speculation, and the growth is already built into the price. So the scorecard, a lot of love, some positives, some negatives. This was the overall, I kind of put this into the Claude. It's had a 7 out of 10. Watch list accumulation candidate. It appears to be a legitimate growth company benefiting from powerful satellite defense and connectivity trends. Investors may want to monitor this SBS is something that they just purchased. See if, it really ends up being positive for them. And then these are some of our discussion. So I did do an SSG on it, so I will present that next. How am I for time? Am I still good with time?
Yes, you are.
Okay, all right. And the SSG, again, I printed out the PDF. So, if you need me to go to the actual, to the SSG live, I can do that, but I can show you. So right away, my assumptions were, I really didn't have anything good to estimate the future sales growth. So historical, it says, was 3, so I went with 5.
Hold on.
Good.
I'm with Doretha now. I
Oh.
can't see your first page.
Really? Okay.
Is it just me?
That's better. That's better.
Yes.
Okay, let me see if
Mhm.
I can make it smaller. Oh, I can maybe zoom out. There. How about that?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay. No, I may not be able to read it. Let me see if I can. Well, that's fine. I can read it. Yeah, so it's kind of on the higher, they have it here at the high price. Not quite up straight and parallel. And then I gave it a earnings per share around 10. Now, historical was 25, which I thought was a little generous. So this is why I don't have a whole lot of confidence in the SSG that I've performed here, because I think the stock is speculative. But I still wanted to present it. So just because it was something different, you don't hear about it at this type of thing every day. The return on equity, they've got it at like a 4. And I know from our I have a little cheat sheet here. So I know from Better Investing, we like a return on equity of at least 15%, and then great companies achieve return on equity of 20%. So 4 is low. So there were some negatives, and I recognize that. A lot of this, again, NMF. And so I did the SSG, and utilizing the numbers that I did, it did come in as a sell. Meaning it's not time to buy this now, or if you own it, you would consider selling it. The current price at this time was $17.15. I did this back on May 29th, and the 52-week high was 20.93. So there is some upside right now, but it's really close to its all-time high. So I would just consider this either, if you don't want to put it on the watch list as the 3, maybe we'll just revisit it 3-6 months down the road and just kind of see what's happening with it after the SpaceX IPO. So that's all I've got. So any questions?
What did so Value Line didn't follow it? That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
We
the
looked at-
value line didn't have a whole lot. I can share that. And I didn't know, like, when I do a presentation, I can always share the my value line or my Morningstar, or do you all typically have access to that? Because I can send an email out, and then if you wanted to distribute it. But here's the value line. So again, yeah, there's not a whole lot on it, but it did at least show up. So they have it back from 2017. So I didn't know if maybe that was when it IPO'd. It's just been a little steady, but recently a little bit of an uptick. And I think that's just related to the economy, the sense. But a lot of this NMF, not a lot of good earnings. Here they got, PE is really high. And it just here's the annual rates, but they've got it at 1 year and 5 year. So it's not the typical value line that we see. So I don't know if that's speculative or because it's a foreign company. But the shareholder return looks really good. So yeah, it's kind of a newer one. So there's not a whole lot of probably not a whole lot of analysts really following this one.
Did you look at the sentiments to see if anyone looked at it?
There were sentiments, and okay, let me stop this because I was like, yeah, if there's sentiments on the better investing, some people must be looking at it, but I don't know how many people. Maybe is it just how many does it take for somebody to look at it to show up? But yeah, let me bring that up.
Sharon is showing you how to get to the sentiments, and you know how to get there.
Here we go.
Zelda.
Yeah, I've got it. So here I'm in the SSG plus and oh wait, yeah, SSG plus. So here's the sentiments. This is the first row, and here's the sentiment here. So this is sales. They had it at 10. I had chosen 5. Earnings per share was 20.1. Warning, the number of studies may be too small to draw reliable conclusions. So let me see, member sentiment forecast from recent total completed studies equals 1. So one person did this. So I hope that wasn't me, but I don't think so. So let's see, 25 for the high PE, 0.85 for the high earnings per share. High price, low PE was 15. I think I chose 11 for my low PE. So yeah, so I don't know how meaningful the sentiments are. I like to look at the quarterly data. They were positive, but then there was a negative. Whoops. Here's the quarterly data.
Yeah, and I don't see any first cuts on here either.
Yeah, so this is pretty new. I don't think a lot of people are even following this one. So that's why I said it's really, really ultra
Hey, do me a
speculative.
favor. Go up top, go to research.
Okay.
Now go to analyst estimates. Now go to FinViz. Okay, hit that. Okay, well, this is another place to look. Okay, now, but this is February that was information. I'm just saying this is another tool that Better Investing has provided for us to be able to look at investment stock. Okay.
Okay. Does this look good compared to what I've never really used the analysis part of this? Does it look helpful? I mean, for this one in particular, it says strong buy.
Yeah,
But
that
it's
was
only
in
2,
February. Realize that was in February.
and
Okay.
it was only probably 2 analysts.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that when you're doing, you probably already know this, but I thought I would share.
Mhm.
FinViz is another very good tool to look at in addition to the sentiments.
Oh, looking at like a 5-year estimate or okay. All right.
It's also a good tool when you're looking for stock to do analysis on. It's also another way to actually find a stock.
Okay.
Okay. So I gather you're not making a recommendation for a buy?
No, not at this time. It looks like it's over, what's the word? Not overbought, but it's getting close to the high price. So would probably look for either a pullback, maybe to the around the $8 mark that Morningstar had recommended, and just continue to follow it. But it's funny, with a lot of the stocks, we're waiting for the pullback. And it's like it hasn't happened yet. So, but yeah, this one is so speculative. It's hard to know how it's going to respond with this whole SpaceX thing.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Were there any questions for Zelda? Anyone?
I don't have a question, I have a comment. While you were doing the presentation, I was doing a quick research, and it said that what could drive the stock is the company if it gets a large defense contract that will help drive the stock. It also mentioned about the revenue growth. They said the revenue growth is strong. The profitability trend, it needs improving. The balance sheet is healthy, and the defense exposure is attractive. So that might help. That might be some of the things, especially with the defense exposure, might help bring it to the value, or, at a better, if they get the a defense contract, that will help the company. So you just have to keep on looking, monitoring it, put it on a watch if you're very interested in it. It may not be for the club, but we always do things for personal also to
Mm,
look at. So I just wanted to share that with you.
thank
Great
you.
presentation.
Good
Thank you.
presentation. That was a good comment. Thank you. Anyone else? Ann, Doretha?
Yeah, my sentiments exactly what Carolyn just said.
Mm,
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I thought that you did a good job too. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Glad
And
to
like,
have you aboard. Thank you.
that's right. That's right. And just said it again, verified that this is the last thing that Zelda needed to do for her commitment to become a board member, a member of the investment club. And so we are anxious, and we will finalize that, give you all the information that you need so that we can finalize this process and have you coming on. I think that I see Ian's hand raised again.
Thank you.
I just want to confirm that that was not a Freudian slip. Speak those things as if they are as a board member. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, very good. If there are no other questions for Zelda, let us go on to, that was a good job. Thank you so much for that. Okay,
You're welcome.
we have a couple more things on the agenda. So, do we have any old business? We don't have anything on the agenda for old business. So, if there is nothing on for the agenda for old business, and is your hand still up? Were you going to say something else? Okay, so
Sharon, I wanted to take a step back on the agenda. Did we, were there any stocks presented where we needed to make a decision about purchasing?
I
didn't-
didn't write anything down. Since I'm the purchaser, I do it. I did my job the last month. I bought
Uh-huh.
about five
You
shares
did, you
in
did.
Meta. I did it. I didn't
Ladies,
take notes.
I wanted to take 5 minutes and go back and take a quick look at Qualis, because I did do an SSG on Qualis, and you asked me a question about its price target estimates. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And so the average price 107.39, the high price $161, and the low of $85. And the price today, did I say $112? So let's take a quick look at this SSG and see if this may be something we can, if we can buy an additional share today. And that was on my mind. But I was saying, I'm always kind of skeptical when it comes to making a decision about buying. So let's take a quick look and see from the perspective of the club, is this something that we can buy today? Okay, so this is the front page. Isn't it beautiful? Up straight, and parallel. The analyst for sales for a 2-year estimate says a 7.6%. Earnings per share, $2.09. I used a 7 and a 2. They used a 7 and a 2. I did also. 7% forecast for sales and a 2% historical earnings per share. They do have a 14.7 growth and a 26.5 earnings per share. And they have only a 9.5% of debt to capital ratio. Now, before we move from this page, is there any other suggestions? Because this is a live SSG. Is there any other suggestions about the numbers that I use, or you want to quickly look at this other page? Okay, let's look at the other page then. Let's look at the valuation and return. So the high PEs, they range from, I think 20 something, 26.1, 28.6 to an 84. And then for a low PE, it ranges from, the numbers are all fall into the 20s, except they have a 51. So I think I took both the 84 and the 51 out, which gives us a 5-year average of 53 for a high PE and a 5-year average of 32 for a low PE. So apparently I didn't take that 51 out. You know what? I'm going to leave them in since I have not taken them out. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. And then down here for the high price. Now, it says a 5-year average high PE of 53, a 5-year average of 42. And the current PE today is a 16.3. I'm quite sure that has something to do with the economy. I used a 20, which gives us $123 for the forecast high price. I had another number there earlier, but I kind of tampered with it to see what it has, what difference it would make. Since the high PE was so high, a 53, I think I may have used a 30 instead of a 20. And then for this low price, I used a 27 for the low price, low PE. And it says 80% of the current price, 72.67, $72. And so that's what I have for my forecast as a low price. Let me update this study. It's in a hold. But earlier I used, like I said, I used a 30 instead of that 20. And it had it, I think it had it in a buy range.
What does the sentiment say?
Okay, let's take a quick look at the sentiments. Okay, so for sales, a 7.7. Earnings per share, they said a 6.6. I used a 2. For a high PE, they said a 30. A low PE, 18. And then a high price of 232, a low price of 74. Do you want to look at any other of these numbers?
Yeah.
High price. Okay, let's see. The low price, I said it was at 74. the high price of $232. With
And
that
what was
said,
your low and high price that when you did your SSG?
okay, let me go back to that. I have $123.
Yeah, it was almost half.
It's almost half. So I need to change if I change the high PE, they had a 30. I have a 20. If I put a 25, let's see how much of a difference that makes. See, it puts it in a buy range, and that's what I had earlier. I used a 25 instead of a 20. It has
And
it in a
your
buy range, and it has the forecast high price of $153.
and your earnings per share growth of 2, don't you think that was that's a
A
little
little
low?
low? Okay. Let's go back to that then. Let me change that. What do you want to make it, a 4 or
Look at the sentiment. Let's look at the sentiment.
what was the sentiment?
I didn't write it down.
Zelda. Zelda, you didn't write it down. Let me go back.
I think it was it a 7?
I
Let's
think
see.
it may have been, let's see, earnings per share, it was a 6, and I
Okay.
had a 2. And the analyst was saying a 2 also. So let's go back and change this to at
What happens?
least,
Yeah, if you put it, make it a 6, what happens?
okay, let's see, at least a 6. It acts like it doesn't want to change.
No, it doesn't let you change.
Let's see. There we go. Okay, so we changed it to a 6. Let's go back to that page and see what we have now. It changed it to $186. It's still in the buy range.
So it's
The
going
buy
down.
zone says $72 to $100. The whole zone 100 to 157.
Mm.
And then a sell zone 157 to 186. I don't know. The
Wait,
upside
doing
downside
Qualis?
ratio, go ahead,
Is this
please.
Qualis?
Qualis.
Okay, hold on. I was trying to
Mhm.
see if there was a first cut.
Okay.
And what is the competitors? Who are the competitors?
Okay. Uh, let me go back to that first page. Will the competitors be there? They're on the second page.
No, they're on first, the peers, they're on the first page.
They're on the first, right here. No, compare peers. Here we go. So who do we have? We have Qualis and we have, I don't know any of these. Are they turned on? I just see Qualis. Okay. Who else is this? They don't even show up on the map. So Qualis kind of outranks them in this industry. Peer group average and way below. Carolyn, what are you seeing? What else are you seeing here?
No, I said it shows Fortinet. Did someone mention about Fortinet before? I think is that we have to do a presentation on that. That's one of the competitors on it. It may not show it here,
Uh-huh.
but I did a search and that was one of the competitors. It
Mm,
also mentioned that the stock that if it's under $95 is a buy. If it's over 95 to 113 is a
mm-hmm.
hold.
It's
So
a
that's
hold.
what it's saying when I did an
Okay. So today it's 112.
yeah.
We
So it's
probably
in the Mhm.
missed our opportunity to buy because it was 86 and now it's 112. So we missed our opportunity. But thank you so much for that. A lesson learned for me at least. Teachable moment.
Yep, very
Absolutely.
good.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Thank you for that. I appreciated that a lot.
Absolutely. Me too.
Okay, so we do not have any buys and we don't have any sells. So we're holding and oh, but this is the deal. even though we do not have a recommendation, that does not mean that if someone comes up with a hot stock or something that we need to buy, doesn't mean that we can't have a special meeting. Doesn't mean that we can't do it because we have a meeting coming up. And so we have meetings that are coming up, and we're going to do a review. So don't ever think we have to wait another month if there is a really Dorothy, you raised your hand?
Yes, so she mentioned Fortinet, and that's one of our stocks on the watch list. So since I did an SSG today, let's try to be prepared to have that as our SSG or this special meeting, so we can see if Fortinet might be one of the stocks that
Yeah.
we can buy, since it's in the same category as Qualys. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Mm.
All right, ladies, that is good, and that is it for the old business. Now we're to the next section, which is new business on the agenda. During one of our meetings, we were discussing, I brought it up as something for us to consider. We always have on Education Tuesdays, we always have something that is a hot topic in addition to us, discussing what we've read, what we've experienced, what meetings we've gone to that will help us continue our analysis of our stock. One of the things that I mentioned, someone else already brought it up. Oh, I think maybe Zelda. The impending, everyone is saying there is a correction. Some saying the stock is actually going to be a crash, but what I've been hearing more is a correction. Um, I was listening to another group, and gentleman said that he sat in on a meeting with Goldman Sachs, and they said, no, no crash, no crash. You guys calm down. But they did say that we have been on the stock market has been on a rear tear, and that many stock are overvalued. There will be a correction. And so I'm not saying that we're trying to time the market because that's not a BI strategy, is trying to time the market. But this is the thing. The question is, if we know that there's going to be a correction, what is the strategy that others are doing? We have this heap of money. Maybe if there's going to be a correction, we buy some more Amazon. There's going to be a correction, we buy some Lennar, we buy Qualys, or we buy something. But I'm just saying, we can't time the market. I'm not saying don't spend that money because we're looking for a correction. I'm just saying that it would be nice to know what BIers are doing and what they're going to do. So if we have the potential of getting someone on Education Tuesday to speak to us on that, that would be great. But I am not saying that we do not spend the money if there is an opportunity. All I'm saying is we're looking at a unique situation. Listen, one of the pullbacks, I was able to buy a heap load of Amazon. So it is an opportunity, but I'm never going to say that we don't spend the money when we know that there's a good growth stock that we need to buy. All righty then. So that's all I have to say about that. And we can be looking at that. I just wanted to put that on the agenda. Now, the next thing is acknowledgement of our guest. We still have, I'm going to mispronounce your first name, but Miss Williams, I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge you. You asked very good, instructive questions, and I'm grateful for those questions. I wanted to acknowledge your presence. And the other young lady from Dallas, is it Callista, the last name? I see her there. I wanted to make sure that I acknowledge your presence and hope that we had a good meeting, that you were able to learn something, and that you will come back. Now, who else is here that I may have missed?
And Sharon, if I may, if the ladies would put their contact information in the chat, please. So we can send you some information. Mhm.
And with that, are there questions and any closing remarks from anyone? Questions from existing members or the young ladies that were with us this evening?
Oh, yeah, Sharon, I do have a question.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. It's always good to know how people hear about us. So, Deidre, how did you hear about the meeting tonight? Was it because you were already on the marketing call and you stayed on?
Well, yeah, thank you. And I missed the last 5 minutes of this because I was in a store, but I've always known about the group. So, um, just, since I was on tonight, I said, oh, yeah, I have always wanted to join. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. So we are here on Tuesday, first Tuesday. I'm sorry, the second Tuesday, which will be next Tuesday. So I get it correct. At 7 a.m. for the education meeting. So you're always welcome there. And Ms. Solis, could you put in the chat how you heard about this meeting? Because it's always good to know. I'm not sure if you heard about it because you got the email or you got the chair report. It's just good to know when new people come on how they hear about it so that we know the marketing is working or not working. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Great meeting.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to, I was just texting Doretha to say I'm going to have to sign off. And I was asking her if she would please close out the meeting, okay? It was a good meeting, ladies. Thank you so much for your good questions and for your participation. And I'm looking forward to our next meeting, which is Education Tuesday with Ann McNeil. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, ladies.
Thank you, Sharon, for a great meeting.
Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
Sharon. Great
Okay,
meeting.
let's give everybody a chance to put their contact information in the chat
Information.
before you.
Yes, I was
Thank
going to repeat that. Thank you, Ann. Please, our visitors, if you would put your information in the chat before we end this meeting.
I apologize. Did you say this Tuesday coming at 7 a.m. or is it next Tuesday?
Whatever is the second Tuesday, I think it's this Tuesday, it's the second Tuesday, right? Because today is the first
That's
Thursday.
correct.
So
That's
it's the
correct.
second Tuesday morning, right? And then on Thursday, is there a
It's
certain?
always the first Thursday and the second Tuesday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
The Rita Celeste may not be able to come off mute. So I may not be able to put in the chat, but we do have her information, so I'll make sure I give it to you.
Okay. Okay, that ends our meeting. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday for our education meeting. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone,
Bye.
and thank you for
Bye-bye.
joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Great meeting. Thank you. Okay.